Hi guys, so today we are at the launch of the all-new G20 BMW 3 Series, and so here in Malaysia the G20 is only available in one variant for now. It is the fully imported 330i M Sport, alright, priced at 328,000 ringgit. Yes, it is a big jump, but be mindful that the equivalent F30 variant of the equivalent F30 variant, the 328i, was launched at 309,000 ringgit as a CBU at the time before the price dropped for CKD. So 329,000 ringgit with all the added kit is actually not bad lah, if you really don't mind the CBU. But of course, the smart money would be just to wait for the CKD and buy the CKD cars. Okay, so here and also in any case, the CBU allocation is numbered in just what, 200 cars, I think. So you would once this allocation is over, you will just be back to buying the CKD cars that will arrive at a later unspecified date. Okay, and of course, this being the initial production batch. Okay, Malaysia, we are very fortunate. We are getting the G20 very early on in its model cycle. So so there are a bit of compromises in the spec lah, that maybe the CKD versions will get a bit better. All right, we do not know. Now, right now, we start off and look at the front. Okay, or we look at the overall proportions lah, rather. This car, at one glance, you can see straight away this is a successor of the F30. The basic proportions are quite similar, even though the details are greatly changed. Okay, so we start looking at the front. Okay, it's a more busy looking front than the F30, which is it will take a bit of time to grow on you, I would say. All right, so the first item will be the kidney grille, okay, which is now joined into one element. All right, and also the grille has active shutters that close when the engine does not need that much air inside for better aerodynamics. These are the headlights. Okay, if you have seen the international images, you would notice that don't mind the shut line. This bonnet is actually open. Okay, it's not because the shut line is imperfect. The bonnet is just open, haven't closed properly yet. Better. Okay, so the international headlamps that you see, those are the laser lights. They are the top spec lights, and they are very expensive. So BMW Malaysia has opted to bring in the next best thing, which is actually not bad one. These are not checker headlights. These are LED headlights. All right, so these are also top grade stuff. But it's just that I have to admit, this, all right, compared to the laser lights, the difference in appearance is quite substantial. All right, and I think this lighting signature may take a bit of time to getting used to. This little kink here at the base of the headlight, this pays tribute to the E46. All right, the E46 headlights, you remember, also has a bit of a kink at the middle. So this brings us back to that, and I like how this line actually flows down into here. Okay, this is the M Sport bumper. So you see, it's a more flashy bumper design, and if so, our car does not get active cruise control or auto braking because there's no radar module here. All right, if BMW have typically placed their radar modules here and will be complemented by a camera there. So, yep, we don't get that. And so here, these are the rims, 18 inches. Okay, so some of the global pictures that you see, most of the global pictures that you see, right, the G20, those demo cars, those photo cars, they wear 19-inch wheels, and consequently they look a lot more aggressive. We get 18 inches, so doesn't look as aggressive, admittedly, but I would argue that because we get the M suspension, all right, passive M suspension, which are firmer. So by giving this slightly more conservative tire sizing, it may help to give you a better compromise in terms of it, better balance lah, in terms of its ride comfort. But that we'll have to find out with a test drive later. Okay, so here we have, this is a very interesting character line. This is a very gentle, okay, line here that comes down like this and flows back. You see, in other BMW models like the 5 Series. Okay, there's a little vent here. So this vent, they dispense with the vent here. They just put this little line here. All right, and so okay, here's the side skirt. Also has this character line here. I'm not sure if this is an M Sport exclusive line. All right, maybe the base model has a more more bland looking this side skirt. All right, with the F30, I know for a fact that the M Sport side skirt has a bit more flair to the design. Okay, and so you come here. This is the door knob, the door handle, keyless entry, and digital key. I'll come back later to elaborate on this later. Okay, right now I'm focusing on the design, and here we have, this is another controversial design element of the G20. Okay, so so the door, actually, this is the actual shape of the door. All right, but they added this plastic to extend the Hofmeister King. Okay, but you also have to wonder why did they have to do it, because you see this, you open the door here, this shape is actually a pretty acute Hofmeister King already. So not sure if there really is a need to do this, but by extending the Hofmeister King to look like this, right, extending the line to stretch here, it actually gives the C-pillar a slimmer appearance. All right, yeah, so we come to the back, and so L-shaped illumination. All right, and this, it gets a 3D effect. It bulges out with a bit of a 3D effect here. Okay, to emphasize the lighting here. And we come down here, fake vent at the side, M Sport bumper once again with the diffuser trim element, and you notice that they have the twin tailpipes. All right, more like twin exhaust, and this used to be an exclusive design queue for the 35i models, right? Those with the 300 horsepower 3-liter engines. Now, this design queue is available for even right down to the 20i variants. Okay, so yeah, this is the overall exterior of the car, right? You get a reverse camera, okay, no 360-degree camera, and so we come to the door handle. So the G20 comes with digital key, in which you can use your Samsung phone to act as your virtual key. All right, and but the funny thing is, okay, so this one works with Samsung phone, right? The infotainment system accepts only Apple CarPlay, no Android Auto. So a lot of people will find this very funny, but that's the truth, because a lot of times, right, cars today, they are designed by a committee. So, they have different departments responsible for different aspects of the car. So obviously, the people that worked on the digital key were very different from the people that worked on the infotainment system. All right, and yep. But that's the way it goes. But personally, I think I would appreciate the digital key function more, because what it means in my daily life is, one, I don't have to bring, I'm spared of needing to bring one extra item in my pockets. Okay, and I think, in the long run, right, a phone is cheaper to buy than to replace a missing or spoiled key fob. Let's put it that way. So here's the look of the interior of the 3 Series, and this is one of the most significantly revamped 3 Series cabin in memory. All right, I mean, if you were to jump into an F30, you would see cues that date back to the E90, the E46, the E36. So this time BMW really revamped the cabin template. All right, it is still familiar BMW lah, but they have changed the appearance of it greatly. So when you come in from let's say you were driving an E46, you jump into this, immediately this feels very new, very different. Now, one thing they have changed also is the location of the lock unlock button, which it's not duplicated there. All right, previously BMW always put this button in the center console. Now they put it here, which I think is a less convenient position, because let's say, like, if you stop your car somewhere, you get down, your partner sitting in the passenger seat will have to stretch across to reach this here to lock and unlock your door. All right, and So here's the instrument cluster, all right? Speedometer sweeps this way, RPM sweeps this way. Most of my friends who tested went for the international media drive and test this, or even many of the global global reviews. A lot of them are quite universal in criticizing this. So maybe next time around BMW will change this. Okay, so let's give this a try. Hey BMW. Hey BMW. Not keen to respond. Never mind. I'll try this with a test drive. So overall perceived quality is quite good. Definitely, it feels like a step up from the from the F30. All right. So we have, look at this, 12-volt socket. Nice touch. All right. USB port here, and so this is a wireless charging pad. Okay, and they have relocated the engine start-stop button to here. So this being the M Sport car, you get this sort of like carbon fiber trim here in the middle. And all right, this is a nicely sized center console box. Well, this area of blankness, they probably could have done better with this. Maybe they could have made this into a storage compartment, but that would have compromised on the aesthetic of this panel. Okay, I would say, right, just as I said this with the G12 7 series, the G35 series, there is a major jump in the perceived cabin quality in the G20 here compared to its predecessor. All right, the selection of materials here feel noticeably a lot better than that of the F30, because if there is the F30, right, all right, even today, the F30 is still a class leader in terms of driving dynamics, but in terms of its cabin build, cabin quality, right, perceived quality, the F30, even when compared to rivals that were launched in 2012, the F30 just did not feel premium enough inside. But this one, well, the Mercedes C-Class cabin still looks better in pictures lah, alright? But I really have to salute BMW for, actually taking the effort to rip their copybook and do something totally different from what has come before, right? I know traditionalists will say, hey, this is... The traditionalists will probably cry foul, but I think this is a step in the right direction. And yeah, so I mean, in this M Sport trim, it looks edgy, it looks nice. Overall, I quite like this execution. Okay, we will jump to the back. So here the back seats. So you have two USB-C ports here and a 12-volt socket, which is nice. All right, so BMW has been very sensible. They're providing two USB ports and two USB-C ports. All right, compare this to Mercedes, with the A-Class and the GLE is all USB-C ports. So right now, all those of us with the USB cable, right, we don't know what to do with it. But assuming a path where in the future we will all switch to USB-C eventually, right? So BMW has done a fine job in future-proofing this car whilst at the same time keeping it relevant for the present. So we look here at this door card. This here, I'm not sure what this is for, but this looks like a blank button to me. Okay, yeah, perceived quality here is very good. A very good selection of materials. This line here is nice. All right, it has a nice flare to this, and so this seats here, okay, they enable split folding seats. Yep, so split folding seats is offered here, and what they've done is this is a 2-buckle 3-point belt at the back. All right, so you have a secondary buckle here, which you can retract this belt all the way up when you fold your seats down. Okay, isofix mounts here. All right, this is a hinged cap. See the armrest. Okay lah, normal BMW armrest, nothing new, but workable, solid enough. Let's look at the boot. Oh, powered opening, nice. Right, so okay lah, decent boot space, and yep. So here this releases the seat back, and you fold this down. Okay, so well, decently seamless floor. The connection between here is nice, not flat. Okay, so yep, you make not perfectly flat, but it's nice. Okay, it's and here, so this is oh, this is a nice compartment here. All right, and deep, but this is not liftable. Huh? This one cannot be lifted. This floor cannot be lifted. All right, so okay, menu closer. So yeah, here we have it. This is the all new G20 3 Series. The launch program today here involves a short test drive experience, which I will feature in a separate video.